on YouTube right now talking about something that we're all familiar with that's more deadly than the coronavirus and what we can all do to prevent it. So don't you go anywhere. I'm dropping the intro one time.
I don't need nothing else. Every time I'm with you, yo, it's something else. It's a fact, and it's nothing else. Got your hand out, you don't even need the help. Ooh, I don't need nothing else. Every time I'm with you, yo, it's something else. It's a fact, and it's nothing else. Got your hand out, you don't even need the help. Ooh, that's right. I don't need nothing else. That's right.
King's Dream Energy.
What's going on? It's Ruslan with King's Dream ENT. This channel exists to encourage, empower, inspire you to live out God's dream for your life. I'm very happy you are here. I'm going to be giving you guys some basic information I think most of us are familiar with, but you don't ever want to assume that, common sense is common, right? Common sense isn't common anymore. And so we're going to be talking about some stuff that is probably going to make some of you guys uncomfortable, but I think that's all right. The coronavirus, right? Current death toll of the coronavirus. Let's look it up right now. The current death toll is, I believe, 22 in the United States. 22 in the United States. 546 cases. 546 cases in the United States. I'm finding right here with 22 deaths. Now, that is awful. And the dangerous part about this specific virus that we're seeing is that it spreads without people even knowing they have it. Meaning that by the time someone gets to a place to get checked out, the virus has already been through them, has spread and passed on to other people. That's a very dangerous virus. That's unlike a lot of the other stuff we've seen. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to pull up something that I posted on Twitter. People didn't like it when I posted this, but I thought it was interesting. So just to give context, specifically for this virus, it is unique because it can spread without people knowing that it is spreading. Even though the death toll is very low, we're talking about 3%, which granted the common flu, I think is like 0.5% death toll. This is a higher percentage, but less people getting it. But what makes it dangerous is most people know when they have the flu to, quarantine themselves and don't go into work. With this, people are functioning. They don't know they got it before it's too late and then they've passed it on to somebody. Now, this is not good, right? The stock market is down. They're saying this is going to cause a world recession. The ripple effect of things like South by Southwest getting canceled, travel getting canceled, conferences, music festivals, all kinds of stuff getting canceled. This is not good. And anytime anybody ever dies, it's sad, right? It's sad. And so I'm going to talk about something more deadly than the coronavirus that most of us are familiar with. But before I do that, let's just bring this some context of all the other things that were deadly but were prevented and weren't as bad as people made them out to be while they were happening in real time. We got 2000, this is something actually my pastor's wife posted it. I tweeted this. I put it on my IG story. Y2K. Then there was the anthrax scare in 2001, the West Nile virus in 2002, 2003, you had SARS, the bird flu, E. coli. Then again, the bad economy, 2009, the swine flu, the BP oil spill, the Mayan calendar, right? And some of these were like legitimate viruses. Some of these were like goofy conspiracy theorists, right? Like the Mayan calendar is going to kill us all. Ebola virus, the Disney measles and ISIS. I don't know how those are together. The Zika virus, and now it's the coronavirus. So I say all that to say this is not the first time we've seen something like this, right? We've seen stuff like this come up multiple times, and it is sad and it's unfortunate. But you guys want to know something that's more deadly than the virus, this virus specifically, is, y'all ain't gonna like this. I'm gonna tell you right now, Just give this video a thumbs up now before I say this next thing, because when I say this next thing, you guys are not gonna like it. But just give this video, especially those of you guys are watching live, there's a handful of you guys watching live, give this video a quick thumbs up, run it up the algorithm, all that good stuff. You know, and we can get into the comment section and I'll do some Q&A, but I'm gonna give you guys something that you guys you're not gonna like, right? You're not gonna like. You're gonna say I'm being mean, and that's okay. That's okay, because I think it's necessary. Okay, so quick, give this video a thumbs up if you're watching this live before I say this next thing. Say it, you're interested. It's not going to be as interesting as you think when I say it, but this is something that is more deadly than the coronavirus if we're talking about the number of people that are dying, completely preventable deaths. The sad part about the coronavirus is you can't really prevent getting it. Like, you can quarantine yourself, and we need to test people sooner, and they're doing all that. But the hysteria, I don't know if it's warranted. I guess it is. There's a bunch of debate about it, right? This is 100% preventable. What I'm about to tell you guys right now is 100% preventable. The title, this title is whack. Is it whack? Well, then what I'm about to say next is going to make you even more tight. Straight up, Smoke Godinson. Something that kills 300,000 Americans every single year. You guys aren't gonna like it. You're not gonna like me after this video, but I don't really care, because I gotta tell y'all the truth. Y'all ready for it? Obesity. Okay? Obesity, 300,000 deaths a year. 300,000 preventable deaths every single year that happen right before our very eyes. And we push stuff like the daggone body positivity movement, healthy at every size, it's okay, love yourself as you are, all this mumbo jumbo. Nevertheless, our family, our friends, society as a whole is letting 300,000 people a year, okay? Think about that, 300,000 people a year. There's 365, guys, there's 365 days in a year. Okay, that's almost 1,000 people. Almost 1,000 people that are dying every single day from obesity. Now, you're talking about heart disease, laziness, all those things are connected, right? All those things are connected. Nevertheless, guys, this is completely preventable, okay? This is like 150% preventable. This is not something that you have to, quarantine yourself from. And they're saying that by the year 2030, half the population is going to be obese. And again, I know this is so taboo and you guys don't like me and people are clicking out of the video right now as we speak. You're tight. You're in your feelings. You weren't expecting that, Blake. I know you weren't expecting that. You know what I'm saying? But this is wild. This is wild. So it's not about insensitivity. It's just to give you context and perspective. Most people didn't know that, Smoke. Most people did not know that obesity kills 1,000 people a day. No, most people didn't know that, because if we did know that, we'd probably cool out with the Chick-fil-A. We'd probably cool out with the fast processed food. We'd probably cool out with the sedentary lifestyle where we sit around and we don't go outside and we aren't active. We probably would not look over the sin of gluttony and pacify it and let people remain this way without confronting them, while all the other sins we come down super hard on. We probably wouldn't be in a mass hysteria of something that has a 3% death rate, which is this very serious virus called the coronavirus. 3% death rate. The common flu has a 0.5% death rate. And we're in a frenzy about a 3 to 4% death rate. Nevertheless, 1,000 people are dying every single day. 1,000 people are dying every single day in primarily Western countries, Western industrialized countries. 1,000 people, almost 1,000 people a day, and we aren't in hysteria about that. We're not outraged. Matter of fact, we are enabling it. We are co-signing it. We are rallying behind it. We're dismissing our own lack of physical activity, our own lack of muscle. We justify it, and it's really sad. It's really sad. So, just something random to think about. Okay, more deadly than coronavirus. 300,000 people a year are dying due to obesity rates right now as we speak. And I think it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? And here's the deal. The information is out there. The knowledge is out there. That's one of the things I'm putting on this channel, is giving you guys things like the Outlier Challenge, actually giving you incentives to hopefully change your lifestyle, change your eating, all those different things. I think people are changing to be healthier, at least the insurgency of healthier options at fast food places. Yeah, and then you should go watch Super Size Me 2, which just came out on YouTube, which completely takes apart that whole thing. Because if that were true, then we would see obesity rates going down and we see them going up. If that were true, we'd see the body positivity movement going down. Instead, we're seeing more and more people being confronted of fat shaming and all this ridiculousness. And listen, I think you should accept yourself as you are. And I think God accepts you and loves you as you are. However, I think he loves you enough, and I think true love is to love and accept somebody enough to not let them stay the same, to not enable them to remain as they are, right? And this is really sad, especially across the South. We justify it, we pacify it. It's an uncomfortable conversation that we don't want to talk about. But that's the truth. If we're looking at the map, don't be mad at me. Listen, I'm just the messenger. All right, I'm just a messenger. You guys are tight in your feelings, and I'm okay with you being tight and in your feelings. I'm just a messenger. All right, almost 1,000 people are dying every single day due to our obesity. Can we call it an epidemic? We've had, unfortunately, 30 people die from the coronavirus, and we've total, and we have approximately 1,000 people that die a day from obesity. Just something to think about. It's partly because we got filters and live online, so we could change the way we really look without the work. That's a good point. I feel knowledge has more to do with the actual experience. Info is different. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying, like being educated versus just having the information. That's a good point. That's a really good point, because you can have knowledge and you can have information, but you can't necessarily be educated on it. So, how can you prevent yourself? How can you prevent yourself from not becoming obese, not becoming in a state where with a lowered immune system, with a higher propensity for heart disease, a higher propensity for diabetes? How can you prevent yourself from being one of the projected 30 to 50% of Americans who are going to or already are obese? How can you prevent that? Well, couple quick tips. Number one, drink more water. I love bubblies. You guys see me drinking these all the time. Some of y'all think I'll drink soda. I don't drink soda. But just for starters, drink more water. Number one, it'll keep you satiated. It'll keep you full. It'll keep you not wanting to eat more. Number two, I would say, is to get sleep. Get proper sleep. Because once you start drinking more water, you start being more health conscious. Hormonally, there's some bad stuff that can happen when you're not hormonally functioning at your optimal range. Okay. Number three is stop eating processed foods. Stop eating foods that are more than a couple of ingredients. Stop eating stuff out of a box. Stop eating stuff through a drive-thru. And if you're going to eat something from a drive-thru, keep it as few ingredients as possible. That means don't be eating a bunch of stuff with 5, 6, 7, 20 different ingredients. Some of y'all eat this stuff like a Pop-Tart. It has so many ingredients. And what it is the more stuff and junk and the more stuff is combined, the higher calories it is. And calories, it's just thermodynamics. Like the more calories you consume, the more excess you're going to carry, the more they're going to convert into fat, the more overweight and obese you will be. The less calories you consume, or the more active you are, then you're going to burn through those calories. So practically, if you're eating processed foods, okay, foods with a bunch of ingredients, Pop-Tarts, sodas, that kind of stuff, right? if you're eating a bunch of different stuff and it's going to be calorie dense foods. It's going to be calorie dense foods. It's going to be a little bit of food, a lot of bit of calories. Okay. Next time you got a Pop-Tart or some cereal, look at how small the volume is and how many calories it is, right? Smaller portion size, calories. Okay. Healthy foods, less processed foods are huge portions, little bit of calories. So what am I talking about? Specifically, strawberries, blackberries, watermelon. If we're talking about those are like clean, healthy carbs, right? Sweet potatoes, broccoli, asparagus, a lot of volume. It's going to fill you up, going to keep your tummy nice and full, and they're more nutrient dense. They're going to be better for you, but it's a little bit of calories, right? You try eating a 2,000 calorie diet of sweet potatoes, chicken breast, fruits, vegetables. Try eating 2,000 calories of just that, and you'll see how hard it really is, because that's a lot of volume of food. And you try eating 2,000 calories of just, French fries and cookies and Pop-Tarts and all that kind of stuff, you're going to realize that it's actually a little bit of food with a lot of calories. So you're not actually satiated. You're not full because you got to eat more. So clean, simple foods. If we're talking about macronutrients, we're talking about protein, we're talking about fish, we're talking about lean beef, chicken, shrimp. I love shrimp. I love my ahi tuna, ground turkey, right? A little bit of food, a lot of bit of food, a little bit of calories, a lot of nutrients, but it's a big volume, right? So it keeps you full. So I would say, number one, drink more water, cut out drinking your calories. And then I would say number two, eat nutrient dense foods, cut out the processed foods. Real simple. Number three, I would then say is, go outside and be active. Just go walk. Walking is great for you. I got one of these little Apple Watches. It reminds me on when I need to click. We got like these little rings on here. It reminds me, hey, you haven't hit your calorie goal for the day. My goal for the day is I try to burn 730 calories every single day. It reminds me at the end of the day to do that. Sometimes it'll even tell you, hey, go on a 7-minute brisk walk. You could burn this last 50 calories, right? So go outside, move, do something, play. We were kids. Remember when we were kids, we used to play. We used to go outside. Or at least I did. Now we have to be intentional to play. We got to be intentional to play. And so if we have to be intentional to play, guess what? I'm in a basketball league, right? Tomorrow night, we got our second game. I'm in a basketball league. I am intentional about getting outside and playing, right? If you're talking about lifting weights, strength training is probably the best bang for your buck you can get. Why? Because you're building muscle and you got your heart rate up. If you're doing it properly with a coach, with a trainer, building muscle, and you're burning fat, and you could build that physique you want, that V-shredded look where your shoulders are broad, your waist is nice and thin, right? You could build that while simultaneously lowering your body fat. And the muscle, why do you need muscle? Why is strength training a good idea long term? Because you don't want to be 60, 70, 80 years old and not be able to wipe your own butt. You want to have muscle. You want to be able to move around. You want to be able to do the things you want to do. And people who don't build muscle, eventually that atrophies. Eventually they fall. Then they get hurt. And their last 20 or 30 years of their life is not very pleasant. You know what I'm saying? It's not very pleasant. And so, I try to avoid. So you guys are talking about pizza, right? I don't even eat bread. Okay, bread for me, I'll occasionally have bread. But again, a lot of bit of calories, little bit of portion size, right? Pizza, a lot of calories in one slice. Okay, I'm trying to eat strawberries. Next time, and this is why I have a scale. If you take 300 grams of strawberries, 300 grams, that's a lot of strawberries. That's like 100 calories. That's a gang of strawberries, or 300 grams of blackberries, right? You guys see where I'm going with that? And so, one, drink a lot of water. Two, eat clean, simple foods, not a lot of ingredients, preferably vegetables, fruits, chicken, lean meats. And then third, go outside, play, do something, and build some muscle. Strength training is great. You don't got to go to a gym. You don't got to do a bunch of extra stuff. Just start with the basics, right? Push up, pull up, squat, right? Pick something up, move something, right? Usually I'm 100% with you, Roos. Actually, always, but this is one such a Gizmo New York Post HuffPost title. Coronavirus is equally as deadly for the vulnerable and people. Yeah, but well, I guess what I'm talking about, Smokey, is I'm talking about how do we prevent ourselves from being vulnerable, right? How do we prevent ourselves from being vulnerable? Because 1,000 people are going to die every single day from obesity and not taking care of themselves. That is 100% preventable cause of death. 100% preventable, right? And then you're talking about people that are yes, they're going to get this coronavirus, and it's very unfortunate, but the overwhelming majority of people that are getting the coronavirus are fine. They're fine. And so the people who are susceptible are elderly people and people with weakened immune systems, right? And I don't know about you, but I don't know a whole lot of super shredded fit people who are in their 60s and 70s. They kind of let themselves go, especially generationally, if we're talking generationally, right? And so the people that are passing away are unfortunately in nursing homes, and it's just not the best the best lifestyle as it is. But then, yeah, as you're older, you're more susceptible to sickness. And so this is very practical. I think this is very pragmatic. Am I lying about the title? Am I being deceptive about the title? This is a true fact, undeniable statistic that 300,000 people die from obesity every single year. That is almost 1,000 people a day. I didn't make up the number. So you could say it's a clickbait title or whatever. Listen, man, I'm going to tell you guys the truth. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to like it. But at the end of the day, I feel more obligated to keep it a buck with people than to like feed into the frenzy and the hysteria. And a lot of the stuff that we could do to prevent the coronavirus is the common sense stuff we should all be doing anyway. Wash your hands, fam. You know what I'm saying? Wash your hands. You know what I mean? Like, come on, like. And there's so many, now this is a ripple effect across all of society. But then again, I just think there's just so much hypocrisy. There's so many double standards in that we would look the other way when we see our loved ones eating themselves to death. You know what I'm saying? And we make excuses for it. And we make excuses for it and we act like it's okay, and it's just not. It's just not. And the best thing you can do is to lead by example. Best thing you could do is to just lead by example. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Be the type of person that you want to see activated and inspiring. And so this is just something that was on my heart, man. You take it the wrong way if you want to take it. End of the day, it's real. It's happening, and we're ignoring it, and we're freaking out, and we're being hysterical about something that you can't even really control if you catch. You know, you want to blame the government, you want to blame this person, you want to blame that person, but fam, you can control what you can control. I can't control if I can, or if I go out and play basketball and I get the corona. I can't control that. But you know what I can't control is the fact that I've been preventative about my health, that I've been eating well, that my immune system is built up, that I go in for an annual checkup, that I'm taking care of myself. God forbid I do get it, that I got the best possible options in this situation because I've been wise and been a good steward up to this point. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, man. So like, it is what it is. These are the statistics. You know what I'm saying? 300,000 people die. And granted, and Smokey, for you, maybe it's different because you're in New York City. I think you're in New York City. I don't know if I misread that. But people who are in larger cities, metropolitan cities, the obesity rates tend to be way lower in those cities because people are moving around. I don't know if you're in New York. For some reason, I felt like I thought you said you're in New York. Anyway, but people in bigger cities tend to be more active, tend to be moving around. The obesity rates are lower. But if you go down south, fam, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, why really? Like, the information is out there. And so I'm not going to enable anybody coming to my channel. And if I got to hurt your feelings and, you know what I'm saying, get in your face a little bit, I'll do it. So I'm going to leave you guys with one last, I've been meditating on this passage. This passage is from one of my favorite New Testament books, Galatians. This is about works and oppressive Jewish Christians making Gentile Christians follow the law. And Paul gets into the nitty-gritty of where we should stand with, doing good. So I'm going to read this to you guys, hopefully this encourages you. Definitely encouraged me today when I read it. You are in NYC, so yeah, I think your perspective is a little bit different. And that's not to say what you're saying is invaluable or worth it or whatever. I'm saying I think your perspective is different because you don't see as many as obese people as I do, my man. Like that, like I really like it's real, fam. Like it's real, especially down south. Especially down south, especially in a lot of these small towns, these flyover towns, right? Okay, so Galatians 6 verse 7. Okay, Galatians 6 verse 7. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. We've heard that. A man reaps what he sows. Some like to go to the extreme and call it karmic debt. I don't know about all that. I think Jesus, steps in and pays the price for our sins, right? And then he says, whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. Okay, now we're thinking just in the eternal context, but I think this principle applies to here and now. Whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. Whoever sows to please the Spirit, from the Spirit will reap eternal life. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Therefore, as we have the opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers. Especially to those who belong to the family of believers. So you're going to reap what you sow. You're going to reap what you sow, right? If you're going to smoke cigarettes, it's going to impact you. That's not just a spiritual principle, my friends. If you're going to eat crap, fried, processed junk food, it's going to impact you at some point. It just is. You know what I'm saying? And so if you sow to please your flesh, it's going to impact you. Okay? And it will reap destruction on you at some point. Okay, and if you sow for the Spirit, if you sow to please the Spirit, you will reap eternal life. And I will also say life and abundant life here on earth. If you live God's way, you will be in God's will. Let us not become weary and do good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. You will reap a harvest. A lot of you guys maybe have started trying to go to the gym, started trying to eat healthy, started trying to sleep better, started trying to read your Bible, started trying to do all these things that spiritually and physically, they benefit you, and you're not seeing the results yet. And that's okay. Stay committed to the process, and the progress will come as a byproduct of the process. So many of us want the quick, because we're so conditioned, everything should be quick. The food should be quick. The results should be quick. The blessings should be quick. I want to pray for something and get it tomorrow. But a lot of times it's in the process that we see the progress. It takes time. So if you guys are trying new things in your health, in your spiritual life, in your devotional life, maybe you're starting a new church, don't give up. Keep going. Keep going. It will reap a harvest of blessing at the right time, according to this verse. And then he goes on to say, he gets into circumcision. But before that, I think in verse, chapter, he was talking about the fruit of the Spirit, right? And the fruit of the Spirit, self-control, gentleness, kindness, patience, right? He says there's no law against such things, right? There's no law against the fruit of the Spirit. And I want to see Christians, or at least the people that rock with me here on this channel, I want to see more of us exhibiting the fruit of the Spirit. I'll pull it back. It says, where is it at? Verse 15, chapter 6, verse 15. Here we go. Excuse me, chapter 5. I'm going to pull it up right here so you guys can see it. Chapter 5, 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. Since we live by the Spirit, let us keep in step with the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, provoking, and envying each other. We think this is just about spiritual matters. We don't understand that the way we eat and the way we move and the way that the things that we look at, the YouTube shows we do or don't watch, the music we do or don't listen to, we think that this is just about spiritual things. Right? Oh, kindness. Fam, self-control, right? Self-control with what we eat, self-control with our anger. I just did a video yesterday about the baby slapping a girl because she got too close in his face and reacting in a way that did not exhibit a ton of self-control. It just didn't. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't. And it wasn't very gentle, right? So this is not compartmentalized to just food or spiritual matters. This is like holistically. You know what I'm saying? Like holistically, like what type of people are we becoming? I see like a spider I'm trying to catch on my daggone computer screen. I don't know where that dude came from. I didn't get him. Sorry, guys. Somebody asked earlier about cardio. You know, I just try to be active. I think some of you guys just need to be active. You know, my optimal thing, I did a fitness video. You guys can look at it, me and my trainer training. I got an Apple Watch. Your cardio zone, I believe, is when you're in north of 140. If you're training properly, you're incorporating drop sets, you're incorporating circuits, meaning that if you could bench press and then boom, hop off the bench press, do some jump rope, you could actually stay in a cardio zone the entire time you're strength training. So for me, the best bang for my buck is to properly train and to push to have my heart rate up by doing different things. Meaning, so if I'm hitting my chest, right, I could isolate my chest and then I could do some jump rope. If I'm hitting my triceps, I can't hit another chest workout, so I'll go and do my abs at the same time. Different part, heart rate is up. You see what I'm saying? So I don't do a ton of cardio. I got on the Stairmaster today. Did about 5 minutes of cardio. Usually, my man Smokey answered it. He says, as much as you can, starting 20 minutes on cardio. 10 minutes is great. Me and my wife has this thing called T25. I don't know if y'all remember Sean T. She's been doing that lately. That's great. There's a lot of ways. The important thing is, man, just start. Just start doing something, guys. Just start being active. You know what I'm saying? Go, like, if you are one of these people that's obese, don't be discouraged. Go on a walk. For what you should be doing is not playing basketball, and you should not be running. You should just be going on walks and swimming. That's the best thing that for anybody that's like, if you're heavy, I'm talking, you know, you're north of 30 BPI on your BMI, north of 30 on your BMI, 35 on your BMI, 40, like you're up there. Best thing for you is, fam, just go walk, go get in the pool, walk in the pool, swim. Those are going to be the best things for you. I play basketball 3-4 times a week. I strength train 5-6 times a week, but I'm in a different space than most people. Just start. Guys, just start. Start taking care of yourself. Cut out the junk. Stop drinking your calories. Drink more water. Stop eating processed, fried, junky food, high-fat foods, high-sugar foods. Cut that stuff out. Eat more clean, simple fruits and vegetables, lean meats, and go and be active. Real simple. Real simple stuff. I don't want to hear of anybody that's connected with this community potentially dying, potentially getting diabetes. I know people that have had limbs chopped off. My best friend when I was 19 passed away because he was morbidly obese, got pneumonia and died. He was 20, right? I've seen this stuff firsthand, and I know it's not cool to talk about. I know it's not sexy and whatever, but hopefully this stuff empowers you guys, man. Start somewhere. Just start somewhere. And if you need help, if you need assistance, shoot me a DM on Instagram. Boom, I'll put up my Instagram. It's whatever. You guys can find me on Instagram, man. Hit me up on Instagram. I really mean that. I would love to help anybody. That's my heart with this kind of stuff. It's to hopefully shock your attention into doing something about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do something about it. Let's not be a statistic. Let's not be one of the 300,000 people that gets their life cut short because of something that is 100% preventable. And let's not enable people and act like this stuff is cool, because it's not. It's not lit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm praying for everybody that's dealing with the the pandemic and preventing and washing your hands, all that kind of stuff. Man, that stuff is horrible. The affecting the economy is horrible. And so I think we just got to be mindful with all these different things. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all.